Hi, it's 2015, January, and I'd like to welcome you to Uncle Wayne's Tintown. This is the first time we've run the tin trains in actual layout. These are things that over the last, roughly 2 years, I've managed to collect, a small collection, and put together. And we're going to take you through a little bit of a tour of this. This is a Lionel 384 tin beacon. Probably circa 1947, 48, something along those lines. Here you can see some street lights from the 1920s. In the late 40s, bells. Those are from Marx, as is the one in the middle. Here's a lovely little Marx station in excellent condition. Comes from roughly 1950 or so. Street lights, that's a reproduction. Here's a tower, also from Marx. You're going to see the Marx blinking signal go off there, just like it did a long time ago. Over here we have a crossing gate. And there we have a little signal man come out. That is from, again, about 1950. That's from a company called Colber in West Orange, New Jersey. See some lead figures. Some are original and some are modern reproductions from the same molds from the Barclay company, which was in Hoboken, New Jersey. Here you'll see a gentleman dressed not too differently from the way I dressed when I did the same job as he did, which was waiting tables, food service on the trains. Of course, I was doing it in the 1970s. He's probably originally from the 1930s. Here you'll see some more figures from the Barclay company. Here are some antique farm animals that are lead, very old. They were beat up beyond recognition. So I took them down and painted them, and I think they look nice with my 1960s era farm. And here you'll see this is the very first Lionel trackside accessory made in 1935, and you'll know this is the original one because it's made in tin, has the tin sign, and when the little man comes out you will see that he is not made from plastic. They didn't really have plastic back then, so out he comes and he has a lantern, and he lights up, and he's made from wood fiber and glue mixed together. And he was cataloged 1935, 1936, and this is probably manufactured 1935. And you can see here Marx signal bridge, very cool, that I restored. You'll notice when the train goes through forward, it's green. The train comes through from the other side, it's red. And we can see now, here comes the Monon Cruiser, and so it's red on our side. And then as the Seabrook goes through with the three New Jersey coaches, the Bogota, the Montclair, and the observation car, it turns green. You can see the little tower there, that's a radio signal tower, and also a Marx tunnel that has an image of a rural coaling station on the side. We'll take a little closer look. There's the signal tower. That's the pre-war, possibly post-war, but it was manufactured pre-war as well. In the back is a flashing yard tower That yard tower is a post-war item, probably from the early 40s. I'm sorry, early 50s. You look here, you will see the scene of a rural coal stop where a train would stop and get filled with coal. Over here, you'll see a Skyline house, light-up house. That's from the 1960s. Behind there, from the also from probably the post-war era, from the late 40s to early 50s, is an American Flyer station. You go over here and you will see a barn from the late 50s, early 60s, made by Ohio Art. You might remember them as the Etch-a-Sketch people. In the back, that is a 1950s toy that was repressed in the 90s. This was found unassembled in a warehouse, made from the original dies. That was used for the Alamo and John Wayne set, and every cowboy that you could imagine had that same item, just painted a little differently. There is also Skyline, the company that made that house. That is 1961, 62 maybe. That freight station. Something from the 1990s that was retro, made by Hallmark. This went with their kitty car collections, as did the firehouse next to it. There are only 3 pieces that I know of in this collection, and I have 2 of them. The other one is a gas station. The 3 little light-up houses here that are cardboard and they're coated, and these are very similar to the ones we had when we were kids that were made in the 1940s. There's another one of those reproductions, and there's one in the back. As you can see, these are toys. No scale model, no scale anything here, and they're great. They're noisy. They smell like ozone from the electricity, and I just think they're really cool. This is the only Lionel locomotive in this collection of pre-war and post-war stuff. This one, believe it or not, goes all the way back to 1918, and it does run, but needs a little work. So I'm not gonna run that one today. We'll run that one in a later video. These have been restored really authentically, which means basically repainted, taken apart, fixed, put back together. These cars are from the 1920s, probably early to mid-20s, and they do light up, and they work great. And I bought them separately from the engine, but I have recently seen a set in this color cars and this color engine together, so it was just dumb luck for me, but I really liked the way they looked with it, and it turns out so did somebody else. Here's another Seaboard like the one that's on the table, and next to that you're going to see a Southern Pacific diesel. I acquired quite a taste for these tin litho diesels, which until a couple of years ago I didn't even know existed. I thought they were only for wind-up trains. Here's a beautiful example of a Baltimore and Ohio diesel. Behind it we're looking at a New York Central nickel plate road hopper. Then you'll see another Baltimore and Ohio, the pacemaker from New York Central, the C&O hopper, and in the very back there is a matching Baltimore and Ohio caboose. This is a CP3000, that's Canadian Pacific 3000, that was beautifully restored and repainted. I think you've seen that in another video. Here's some 6-inch rolling stock. In the back there is some 7-inch rolling stock. Here is a new Marx from the 90s. Kind of a reproduction, but not exactly. There's another CP3000. And Marline's livery, and there's the tender painted New York Central in the back. Here is a 1950s era block signal, not currently in use. There's a Reading Railroad caboose, there's a Seaboard caboose, and then we have some other tin toys along the top there. You'll notice over here is where I keep my post-war and modern trains while the tin set is up. Normally the tin trains are in these window display case combinations. We'll go over the other side, take a look at those. There's a few more items in my display case. That's a 1948, that chicken car, so that is absolutely a post-war. There is a breast cancer engine, diesel yard engine that we have commemorating and donating money to breast cancer. Okay folks, that's it from Tintown today. You'll notice we just watched the little year 2000 100-year commemorative hand car from Lionel. There'll be other engines running soon. They are all working, but one at a time I'm taking them off the track and getting them fixed up and working like brand new.